Hey, this is Brandnu live on Chasing Dreams with Amy J.
Welcome to Chasing Dreams podcast with Amy J. Amy believes that realizing a life without regrets is achieved by taking chances, chasing your dreams, making moves, and overcoming your doubts. The Chasing Dreams podcast will help you overcome life's obstacles, believe in your potential, and inspire you to face your fears. And now here's the woman who is passionately pursuing her dreams, Amy J.
Hey Dream Chasers, this is Amy J, and on today's episode, I'm very excited to be bringing you a friend of mine who is here to talk about his story and everything he's gone through and how recently he's just turned 100% of his efforts into chasing his own dream. His name is Brandnu. He's an artist and he is creating a new genre called classical hip hop. Originally from Nigeria, he has blended the use of hard drums and rhythms with a wide variety of classical instruments and melodies. After graduating with a degree in chef and restaurant management, he realized God had a much bigger calling for him. Brandnu just released his second independent album, S.O.B., State of Becoming, and launched a production company called Brandnu. His dream is to use his fan base and the income generated to help bring awareness and relief to the underprivileged. Proceeds from his new album will be going to Gold Star families, and he's taking time out of his busy day to come onto the show and share his story. So please help me welcome Brandnu. Hey man, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for that intro. That was a lot of love. Thank you.
I'm so psyched to have you here. I mean, it's always nice to see people chasing their dream, but you're not just doing that. You're also giving back, which, I'm a big fan of. So that's really cool that you're doing that.
Yeah, that comes from my parents. Being born in Nigeria, I lived there till I was 7. And luckily, my family was pretty well off. But we always had cousins, aunts, different, people around the neighborhood would stay with us. And so my parents had that ingrained in me at a very young age.
Well, good for them. I mean, the world would be a wonderful place if more people gave back,
Definitely.
No, but
put that on a t-shirt.
There's an idea. Now, you haven't been doing this your whole life, right? When you first started, did you always have this dream of being a music producer, of producing music like you are today?
It kind of evolved. Music has always had a place. But again, transitioning from Nigeria to here was definitely a big culture shock and a musical, I guess, awakening for me. So I think it went from first being in awe of some of the musicians and the music that I heard when I came here in 1990. I remember my very first concert that I went to was Troop. And it was like, spread my wings. So it was pretty cool. And then I was a football and basketball star in high school. So I really didn't spend too much time on music because, being a jock, it's not really cool to be singing love ballads and different things like that.
It's a stereotype that probably should be struck down. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you've never been in a male locker room, so, good luck with that one.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, it definitely evolved with me, I guess, getting more comfortable in my own skin. For all my Nigerians and a lot of foreigners, they'll probably understand when I say there's like 3 professions. You're either an engineer, you're a doctor, or you're a lawyer. When you start coming in the family talking about, you want to sing and make music, that's all. So you have a hobby. I'm like, no, I have a dream. I have something that, God has spoken to me about and I'm very passionate about. So it's definitely changed over time.
Now, you're talking about how in the life of a foreigner, and I've had this, many other people I know have experienced this, 3 professions. You go outside those 3 And one, depending on what that profession is, they may consider it. Otherwise, they kind of give you that side eye, right? And it's
Yeah,
really? Oh, that's cute.
definitely.
Okay, let's see how long that'll last, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, you got that, though, from high school to college. Did you go into college thinking, yeah, let me not do that, let me just do that as a hobby? Or did you give up music and kind of, because you graduated with a degree in chef and restaurant management, so that's not, as far as I know, that's not music.
Well, I guess this is part of the message that is my story, but is also hopefully going to touch somebody who may not have all the support that they need, but they have something in their heart that, kind of keeps tugging at them a little bit. I took a couple private classes, vocally and training wise with music, but I also knew that this was not going to go well in the family. So that was always in the back of my mind. So I kind of did it in secret, in the dark a little bit, trying to prepare myself and get ready, to prove that, I had what it took. I basically self-taught how to make music. And I put my first album together, which was called The Making of a Legend. And I think a lot of people thought that was talking about me. But I think what they didn't understand is that it's about the story of perseverance and what music is going to be able to do in society and what I feel like I'm going to be able to do with my music eventually. Well, I presented this album upon completing it to my parents and to my father.
Who had no idea you were doing anything related to music, right?
Well, I was doing it again in kind of in secret. So right. I can't really say I'm a musician because I haven't gone to any school for music. I've sang in a couple
call yourself a musician?
Church. Yeah. I sang in a couple, musical productions, for like Christmas specials at church, things like that. But I was full-time, basketball, football, having fun, life of the party type of person, you know what I mean? So, I definitely wasn't focused as I am now, on my music. It was still then just a dream, but, we can get into this later. Before you really can achieve the dream, you have to start putting some work into it. And that's the part that people don't see before, everything else that comes, after this.
Oh, absolutely.
So I guess back to, I let my parents hear the initial album, and I haven't graduated school yet. And I'm still kind of like, I'm going to school. I'm not really focused on, what I want to do. I don't really know exactly what I want to be. I'm just like a smart, arrogant kid thinking I'll just figure it out at some point. So I finally figured it out, do this awesome album. It'll get a lot of good reviews from different people. And I go to my parents and I say, hey, check this out. This is what I do. I've been doing shows around the city in Columbus, Ohio, unbeknownst to them. So finally, my dad comes back to me and says, if you stop making music, I will 100% pay for you to finish culinary school and finish, my degree.
Wow.
And, imagine, making a deal that you didn't know what the effects would be many, many years later, because some of the most miserable points in my life has been going and getting that degree and going back to the secret music me and not being able to put anything out because I needed to be able to have something to show, family wise.
So you did take that deal?
I did take the deal, and that's how I got my degree.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I ended up I think it's probably 50% of the people who get degrees and find out that they don't want to do what they got the degree in.
I actually think it's higher than that, but yeah, you're right. There is a large percentage of people who have that.
So that, I'm in that statistical category. I know I have a skill. I know I can fall back on it. It can pay for, me to live, and it's something I'm good at, but it's not my passion. And when I get on my knees and I pray, I know that's not why he put me on this earth. And a big reason that my parents, or a big thing that my parents instilled in me was, whatever you decide that you're going to do, whether you're going to be a plumber, you're going to be a doctor or a singer, you should give it to God. You should, be in prayer and be in one with his will, because it's going to make things go a lot smoother. So
when you're faced with this, you make this decision, right? Not one you're happy with, but one you had to make at the time, right? Can't fault you for it. I mean, it's hard when your parents come to you and put that in front of you. So you had that difficult choice to make. You make the decision, you stand by it, but at the same time, you didn't give it up. So you went back to making music in secret, or were you on a abstinence?
Yes. No, I was, I guess I kind of went through a little bit of depression, because it's kind of like having the red devil and the white devil on your shoulder. And, one person's like, why are you selling out? And why aren't you your dream? And the other guy's like, well, you got to honor your parents, and you should get a good job, and you don't even know if you can do this. They give you the statistics, only 1% of the 1%. And that's, I got to a point where, all of that was irrelevant. And it's just like, this is, what I want to do. So while I was going to school and completing my degree, I worked on my craft. I got a vocal coach and paid for it myself. I got all the equipment I needed to start making, beats myself, and started really teaching myself the production side of it. And, YouTube and different things like that has been great. I kind of mentioned my team a little bit. That's been a phenomenal upgrade, getting them on board, and they've, helped me leaps and bounds, but before, where I'm at now, I definitely was alone and in the dark creating this sound and what I'm giving you for almost about 5 to 6 years now. And I've basically built a catalog about 3 albums long and about 500 to 600 beats long. But that's where the state of becoming, came into play, because I saw myself grow in the dark by myself, over all the time that I was, going for my degree.
That's the impressive part to me, is that you were in the dark, but you didn't stay in the dark. Despite, how long would you say you were in that dark place? More than a year?
Yeah, maybe close to 2 years. It was tough. And, it's like a roller coaster, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not easy. And I think a lot of people are faced with that kind of a darkness in different forms from different people. And, no one's ever malicious with what they say. Your parents want the best for you. I'm sure that they wanted to see, they probably didn't have confidence in music as a career, right? As with many parents of foreigners, they don't think you can survive with it. But the fact that you went up and down in this dark period for more than, and that you came out of it and still had your dream alive. I commend you for that, because not a lot of people do that. A lot of people fall in that time period. And so the fact that you paid for your own vocal coach, that you put out and were working on tracks in this time. What is the time period between the making of a legend, 13 tracks that you produced on your first album, and your second album, State of Becoming?
Oh man, I think it's 7 years, 8 years. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people want that quick, fast, you know, acknowledgement of their dreams. But here you are working 7 years, right? And what are you doing in the meantime? Were you working on this full time at that point of your life?
Oh yeah. In the meantime, wow. My parents did very well for themselves, so I was helping them with some properties. I was also working basically any job that I could get that paid the best money to finance my secret career. So I think I went from working collections for a little while, which was I was really good, but I can only imagine what being a bill collector is like. And then I went into a lot of things in the hospitality industry, whether it was serving or bartending. The funny thing is, I actually never really used the chef part of my degree because it's a different animal, cooking for your friends and Thanksgiving and Christmas and parties than, serving the same meal every day, day after day at,
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
Olive Garden or someplace. So it really didn't allow me to be passionate and touch people and interact and change. So, I've actually never really enjoyed being in the back of the kitchen. In between that time period, it was really a lot of just going to work and then coming back home to like my musical cave and then basically getting up and doing the exact same thing and just knowing that spiritually, I like to spend a lot of time, listening. And I was, like I said, very jockish, football star, basketball star. So you can understand the lifestyle that kind of comes with that. I believe that if I would have received stardom at a younger age, I wasn't ready for it. And I don't think my why, my reason for doing it was fully developed. And I think even more than the musical side of it, that's what I was able to really tap into is like, why am I doing this?
Your story impresses me so much because you're doing all this, and you said you were in the dark, you were listening and figuring things out by yourself. Did you have a support system? Anyone that you shared your dreams with or that was kind of encouraging you?
Man, that's a deep question, man. That could be like a whole nother segment.
Man, I'm a deep person.
Yeah, I like it though. It's good. You know, the one thing that people expect that your family and some of the closest ones to you are going to be the ones that support you the most. And don't get me wrong, family usually they have the best intentions for you on a regular basis usually. But sometimes their fears or things that they've been through might cause them to give you the wrong advice. So, I got support from them on a living basis and, hey, how's school going? And, but again, I'm in the dark with this dream. So I can't really let the cat out of the bag to anyone in the family at this point.
Oh, no, absolutely. Tell the wrong person and you just down the hole.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I have my best friend. His name's Kenny. He's my business partner. I actually met him through another mutual friend. Shout out to Justin Paccio. And this is kind of where the ball got rolling even faster. Seeing Kenny's belief in me as I started doing shows, it was crazy the response that I was getting from other artists and other people around the city. And, I sing way more than I rap. You know, you meet a lot of rappers, but you don't meet a lot of male R&B singers, you know, in Columbus. So, you know, that was really cool. Just that whole time of growing, you know, loyal fans and people outside of the box that, you know, would support me. But it was definitely kind of eye-opening that, you know, my very first song on my original album, The Making of a Legend, is a tribute to my family. And it basically just, you know, thanks them for everything that they did to build me into who I am to be able to, you know, create this music.
Which track is that?
And it's actually number one. It's called I Love You. And that was yeah. So, you know, there's always meaning, you know, in everything. And that's where State of Becoming kind of evolved from. You know, a lot of people, when they see SOB, they obviously think of what I want them to think of because it's a play on words. But it, you know, stands for State of Becoming. And when I was watching a particular documentary, it talked about until you die, until you're no longer breathing, you have the ability to become whatever it is in your heart that you wake up every day and you have that passion, that longing for it. You know, you can still do that. You know, I had a son, you know, talking about some of the times in between making the album. I have a son that's going to be 5 years old in September. Coolest thing I've ever done in my life. Way better than any music, anything I've ever created. That, you know, what God did with him is perfect, and I couldn't do anything better if I tried. So I poured my time into him. That really helped me grow spiritually, and it really helped me get to this state where, okay, 4 years ago, I wasn't a father. I've now become a father. Now I need to evolve into that role and grow into that role. Well, you know, however many years ago, I didn't have a chef degree and I wasn't that. You know, there's people down the line who, you know, I haven't been married yet. At some point, I do hope to have the title of husband. So, you know, there's all different steps that you continue to evolve and grow into. And that plays into my music, because if you listen to what I was making when I was doing secret songs, trying to, you know, teach myself how to make music, to where I am now, the content is what I'm most proud of, not just the technical growth and all those other things, but the actual content and what I'm feeding you is something that you need, but in a cool, funky, fun, you know, something to make you happy and make you want to go back for more.
And so, guys, you'll find all the links to Brandnu's albums and his social media on the show notes page, so be sure to check it out. But yeah, there is an evolution, because I listen to your music. There's an evolution from your first album to your second, which is awesome to see. And I can only take it from your experience, from what you're saying, that you lean towards real life experience. So after that, your second album's out. Is it safe to say you're out of the dark now? Your parents are aware that you're doing this? Or is it still a secret to them?
No. This is full fledged. Like I did what you guys told me to do. I've got my degree. I hate this.
You didn't hold back, I see.
Yeah. I'm like, you know, I know now I have, you know, because what your parents always want is something for you to fall back on. You know, they don't want you on the street homeless, you know, sure. Blah, blah, blah.
They always want the best for you.
Yeah, you know, and I got to the point where I understood that, but I was like, okay, I got this done. I know I'm smart. I can go back and get another degree. I graduated with, you know, honors and did very well. But I was like, it's time now. Like, the world needs this. And, you know, and when I say the world needs this, I use the word this for a reason, not me. I'm not sure why I was chosen as the messenger for what is to come down the line. It took me a long time to accept it. But once I did and embraced it, it is not about the messenger. It's about the message. What a lot of people get caught up in now is like, oh, this is my favorite rapper and this is my favorite this and this and that. But I'm like, what were they saying? Like, what did that
What's the message?
What did it entice you to do? How did it make you feel? And I think that's what, we miss. We get enamored with, the bling and the fame and the fast cars and the things we wish we could be doing that we can't do. And we kind of forget about the why.
I mean, it's true. It's very true. But you just recently maybe rediscovered your why because you are now full-time pursuing music production with your company, through your own music, your brand. Now looking back on what you're doing or what you did, your journey, do you have any regrets? Would you change anything? Or do you think you needed to go through that to get to this point?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. It's like every time I think you hit me with a haymaker, it's like a new one.
Yeah, I've told you, I'm a deep person.
One of my deepest regrets is my conversation with my father. And although I believe God has, a deeper plan and a deeper understanding than I have of myself, I'm not sure if getting that degree was worth it. The time, I kind of put myself out there, and people they were enjoying it and they were ready for more. And then I kind of just disappeared. Yeah,
you had some momentum going and then stopped.
So, you know what I mean? So it's almost like having a huge show that people have been promoting for months and months and months and months. And then everybody's excited to see the show and then you don't show up. Well, the next time you're like, oh, I got a show coming up. They'll be like, I haven't really heard this dude since he came up with that hot stuff. Like, who takes 8 years to make another album, 7 years to make another album? So,
JT. Hey, you never know. I mean, you're right. Things happen for whatever reason, but we go through these things and we do have regrets. But I'm so happy to hear that you are pursuing your dream full time now. How is that going for you?
Oh, it's awesome, man. Like, I'm stress free. It's liberating. And it allows me to get up at 5 a.m. and get some networking done and do some things and go back to sleep if I want to, and then wake back up and do some production and then go work out and then, go pick up my son and go to the park and enjoy my day and then come back and record a song and, then get on an interview with you via Skype. The technology and just the internet allows you to do so much more now. And I've always been, big on family and, one of, like I said, the coolest thing that's happened to me is becoming a father. So, now it's like I'm free. I'm just in my state of becoming.
Well played. I love how you just brought that in there like that. It was very appropriate. Now, Brandnu, before we wrap up, I have to ask, what is one thing you would recommend to someone who is chasing their dream? It could be a book, a person they should check out, a piece of advice, anything under the sun. What would you tell them?
Oh, man. There's a lot of cliche statements that you're going to hear from people. Don't ever give up. Keep fighting the good fight and many other things. I think focus on your why. Put a picture or a saying, whatever the reason why you're doing this is, that's what's going to sustain you during those dark times. That's what's going to sustain you during the no's and the closed doors, and when you're the only one who believes. Because before two people are going to believe, you're going to have to believe in yourself. And you're going to have to show, whether it's one person, two people, 100 people watching, you're going to have to show them that you believe in yourself for them to believe in you. So make sure that you know your why, you are grounded in your why. And as I keep saying that, my why is because music is supposed to bring people together. Music is supposed to help you get through different times, whether it's a happy time, whether it's New Year's Eve, whether your grandma passed, whether you're sick, whether you're about to have a big basketball game and you need some motivation to get you energy. It's supposed to create a feeling for whatever the artist, was going for. So my why is that I'm going to use this platform to bring awareness to different causes that touch my heart over the course of time. And hopefully, as my fans see me working out there and using their money and their support to help other people, we can kind of like grow a culture where it's bigger than me. It's bigger than I. It's bigger than the messenger. So that's the thing, is just, obviously don't give up. You're going to go through a lot of down times, but focus on your why. And an awesome book that a friend gave to me. This is like a super secret that I'm about to hook you guys up with, man. So make sure you pay attention, man. I've never even seen this before. I don't even know if you can get it in the library. But if you can, this is how you can really dive into your mind.
You got me intrigued here.
It's called Creating the Person. Kind of sounds like State of Becoming. The name of the book is NLP, which stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming. And basically, this is a real scientific study that doctors and a lot of people have gone into, and they've done decades of research on. And it's something that's cool to me because I like living in the conscious and not in the subconscious and the unconscious.
And it's called NLP?
Yeah, NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, The Essential Guide.
Who's the author? Do you have that?
It's by Tom Hubar and Tom Dotz.
I'm going to have to check this out. I've never heard of that. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Brandnu, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be on the show and sharing your journey. I'm stoked that you are chasing your dream full time, and we wish you nothing but the best, man.
Thank you so much, man. It's been a blessing. I appreciate it.
And that was Brandnu. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to his story as much as I did. How cool is he? Chasing his dream full time now, overcoming the struggles he went through. So proud of him and wish him nothing but the best. Guys, take heart to what he said. Focus on your why. Understand and know what that is, because before anyone else can believe in you, you need to believe in yourself and know why you're doing what you're doing. Okay. So focus on your why. Check it out. You can find all the show notes and any of the links to Brandnu's social media, his CDs on the show notes page for this episode over at chasingdreamshq.com/episode 45. That's episode 45. Till next time, Dream Chasers, keep chasing.
Thank you so much for listening to Chasing Dreams. Amy would love to connect with you and hear all about your pursuit of chasing your dreams. Connect with her on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram via @ChasingDreamsHQ. Or you can find Amy on Twitter @AmyJ21. That's AIMEEJ21. Be sure to visit headquarters over at ChasingDreamsHQ.com for more inspiration, motivation, and resources to help with your own dream chase. We hope you'll join Amy next week, and until then, keep chasing.